This week we're partying like it's 1999 at Disneyland's 90s Nite.
And we're chatting with Gabrielle Musin from the Orlando Sentinel about her trip to Galaxy's Edge.
Plus the latest theme park news and more coming at you from the attractions studio at Give Kids World Village
right now.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the show. I'm Quinn.
And I'm Jessie.
And Elisa isn't here this week. She's in New Orleans with her
on vacation
with her husband.
Again.
Yeah.
I always get really excited when I see her say, "I'm going on vacation." And I'm like, yes, I get to step in. It's a good time.
So there's been some new stuff this week. We have the new Aladdin trailer. Yes, did you see that?
I did.
I saw it, but I was actually at Epcot at the time when I watched it, so I couldn't hear the video. So I know that there was some music in there, and I didn't get to hear it yet. But
that's what made the trailer for me because the Aladdin's voice is spot on.
Really,
whenever he talks, it's like, oh, that's Aladdin. And then it carries over to the singing, and the music is gorgeous. It definitely has a Bollywood theme going on.
That's interesting. Yeah, I did see the sort of
dancing going on, but in the music, I can't wait.
Yeah, I am, after this trailer, seeing it, I think it's going to be a little bit visually more, better than I thought it was going to be, because, everyone was like, Will Smith, and he's still there, and it still looks...
Did you see there was a picture circulating around social media? It's an animation, and it has, now I don't know if Will Smith actually posted it or not, but it has the genie, the Robin Williams genie, and then it has his genie, and it says, I have some really big shoes to fill.
Oh,
and it's
cute.
The two genies together, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be big. I'm excited about it.
I hope it's as good as the hype,
They haven't let me down with any of their live action films though yet.
That's true. True. And then now we have Maleficent 2 they announced is coming out, so
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm not so much about it. I like the classic animation coming to life.
But you just said that you weren't disappointed.
I don't really count Maleficent because Maleficent wasn't an animated film beforehand.
What?
It's Sleeping Beauty was the animated film.
Okay, I see. I got my eye on you.
Do you see what I'm saying? They're getting off the story completely from Maleficent. They're reinventing it. This one, they're just adding to it.
Okay.
And that's what makes it so beautiful. Well, we'll be back after a message from our sponsors.
You can save up to 25% on select rooms at a Disneyland hotel with a special offer from Mouse Fan Travel. For a free quote with no obligation, head to mousefantravel.com.
Save $131 on a 5-day park hopper ticket to Disneyland with a special offer from Undercover Tourist. For more information on this and other discounted ticket details, visit undercovertourist.com.
This news in the queue starts with an exciting announcement from Black Spire Outpost. The official opening dates for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge have finally been revealed.
Disneyland's version of the land will open first on May 31st, 2019.
And Walt Disney World's version will open at Disney's Hollywood Studios on August 29th.
However, both lands will open without Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, which will open as a Phase 2 of the land later this year.
I'm not happy about that, but I am happy that it is opening and we know when now.
It's getting real.
Yeah.
It's getting really real.
Did you see on the Muppet Vision building, they painted over some of the old murals of Miss Piggy and stuff up there to blend in more with Galaxy's Edge?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's sad.
That's really sad.
And it also is sparking some rumors that Muppet Vision might eventually be for an expansion there.
That's not necessary.
It's not. That's just a rumor. But it's a little bit more bland now. So who knows what's coming for that area?
Let's focus on what's coming to that area.
Well, next door.
What's coming next door? A galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, but not Rise of the Resistance.
What are you excited about with it?
Everything.
Everything.
I'm gonna buy everything there. Every single object that they sell.
All of it?
Yep.
The droids and up?
The droids, the lightsabers, the clothing. I like my new jacket.
I do. I didn't get the memo.
I love it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That was nice.
I'm sorry.
But it looks nice. Orange is a really good color for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You know what I'm not looking forward to? Crowds.
Yeah, I mean, Well, that's to be seen.
But you know what always helps with crowds? A good drink.
A food or a drink. That's what I was thinking. But.
SeaWorld Orlando has launched a new brew club for their guests, which includes some pretty refreshing perks.
Members of the brew club will receive a personal 20-ounce beer stein and storage location in the park's brew club area, as well as discounted refills on various craft beers all year long.
Membership can be purchased for $79.99, either in person or online. Once the membership ends, you can take the stein home with you.
This personally doesn't interest me in any way because I cannot.
This is how I'm dealing with crowds. Sesame Street's crowd. And this is actually a really good deal as far as mug clubs go. I know that's what you think about, but it is a really good deal. I think it's fun. My mug is at a local pub. Oh, well, mine's at SeaWorld. That's pretty cool in my mind. But.
Is that a thing that people do? They like keep their personal mug.
You have your own personal mug behind the bar, and you just give a number, and they take it down. That's kind of shows your loyalty.
I didn't know that.
All things in time, Padawan. All things in time.
Completely unaware. And now, finally, new details have been revealed on the new coaster coming to the Wizarding World at Universal Orlando. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure.
Opening on June 13th, this coaster will take guests on a magical high-energy adventure through the Forbidden Forest, comprising of 1,200 live trees.
Plus, guests reach 50 miles an hour as they encounter all sorts of magical creatures from the Wizarding World, including one that has never been shown in Harry Potter or the Fantastic Beasts films.
More details on this new experience will be released in the coming months.
I love when we get original content for stuff that, for example, Batuu is going to be completely almost original stuff, like from the parks that they made, that fits into the universe. So, like for Harry Potter, now we're going to have this creature that we've only seen at the park.
Do you think, this is just my theory, that this creature is going to have something to do with Dragon Challenge?
No.
You don't think it's going to be like a
dragon?
No?
No, because we already have the dragons on Forbidden Journey. So
that's true. No more dragons.
Yeah.
I think it would be neat if they did, though. If they did something that, tips its hat to the old attraction that people loved so much.
I'm sure they'll have some other sort of references.
Now, do you think these creatures are going to be animatronic? Or do you think they're going to be screens?
100% animatronics. I think Universal has hopefully learned their lesson recently in their
screen technology.
Because everyone's always like, where are my animatronics? So, and I know that there will be screens. This isn't Universal, but this in Galaxy's Edge. I think theme parks in general are learning that animatronics are more immersive than looking at a screen.
I agree. I think there's an art to it that we need. I think it's time we step away from, and I love Spider-Man and Transformers.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying get rid of them, but
that's all it's becoming, though. I'm glad that they're getting back to a track. Getting back to a ride vehicle, which is an amazing ride vehicle.
Well, actually, some of them are being trackless, but not the roller coaster, but just in general theme parks.
We're evolving. I like it.
Winter brings us a new year and a brand new issue of Attractions magazine. Prepare to get soaked on SeaWorld's new record-breaking raft ride, Infinity Falls. Find out what's new and what's come and gone in the world of Orlando's dinner shows. Read about how Disney's Candlelight Processional got started and grew to be a fan favorite. Plus the latest news, rumors, and more packed into every issue. Get your copy and subscribe today at attractionsmagazine.com in print or digital in our app on Nook and Kindle.
Quinn, nothing beats the 90s in Disney.
Why? Why is that?
The best animation came out during that time.
Okay.
You have The Hunchback of Notre Dame. You have the Goofy movie.
Okay.
You do know that one, right?
Yeah, I know.
All right. And then you have Zero to Hero with Hercules. And you kids nowadays, you know nothing about what Disney afternoon TV was like. You had DuckTales. You had Tailspin. You had Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. And nothing beat a soundtrack like a 90s boy band singing a Disney song.
You're starting to sound like Banks. He's really obsessed with that kind of stuff, and that's why we sent him to Disneyland After Dark 90s Nite.
I am so jealous. Have fun, Banks. We totally know you'll have an awesome time.
Hey everyone, I am here at Disneyland in California for the Disneyland After Dark 90s Nite event. So excited. I grew up in the 90s. These are the shows and movies that I love. And I'm here with some friends of ours, Tiffany and Jeff.
Hey!
We got our fanny packs.
Heck yeah.
I can't believe it. They're perfect.
These are great. Look at the coloring, the neon. It is perfect. Who are we excited to see tonight?
Well, hopefully we'll see Powerline.
I hope so.
Indiana Jones is here, which is kind of cool.
Wait.
I hear Indiana Jones is going to be here. That'd be pretty sweet.
Nice.
I am excited to see the Phantasmic monkeys, OG Phantasmic monkeys. I've loved them forever. You guys think I'm so weird, but
No, that's awesome.
you don't get to meet them ever. It's so good.
And of course, there's one thing I want to hear by the end of the night. You guys know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Step right up and come on in. Here's where the fun begins. There's so much to do. Get ready just for you. Everybody grooving, moving to a Disney afternoon.
Hey! So a really cool element about the party is that those of us who have the ticket can get into the park 3 hours before the party even starts. So we're kind of walking around Disneyland right now, riding some rides. We're going to see Mickey's Mixed Magic for the first time. I got Jeff just walked behind me and tried to do a cameo there. I got Michael right there. Good friend of the show here. So we're going to see Mickey's Mixed Magic. We're going to ride Roger Rabbit. We'll do some fun stuff. And then the 90s stuff will start. All right, so here's a look at the awesome, totally rad 90s Night park map here as I drop it. So you got some entertainment here. There's gonna be some afternoon after dark fireworks, character meet and greets, all the food and stuff. And you have the map with all the attractions, merchandise, so let's go check that out. So much to see. I don't know where we're gonna start.
I am dying.
All right, it's 9 o'clock, guys. The party has officially started. They've got 90s music playing on the background. They've got so many characters out and about. We're getting ready to see the fireworks, the Disney Afternoon After Dark fireworks. So let's get the 90s rolling. Perfection.
Best fireworks show ever. Okay, I'm excited. Oh my God, Backstreet Boys.
Oh my God.
Okay, Disneyland 90s Night at least once a month. At least once a month.
Amazing fireworks show. Every theme song from every show you would want to have with the finale of Eye to Eye.
Oh.
perfect.
Love it.
And we're only 30 minutes in to this event.
Oh, the party just started. This is crazy.
We gotta get going.
Oh.
I'm not beautiful of he ate them all.
Just question right behind you.
It wouldn't be a Disney event without themed food and drinks, so we got here 90s themed stuff. Your pizza bagels. Of course, we stayed home, sick from school, eating pizza bagels, watching Disney Afternoon. So we are going to have these pizza bagels. Brings back those memories. Flooding in, sitting on the couch. Love it. Gray stuff. It's delicious. Don't believe me? Ask the dishes. And they made a special gray stuff shake for 90s Night. I have found heaven. I'm going to now be looking into moving to California by Florida. I want this. Perfect.
Wow.
Thank you.
One. And done.
Boom. So this is really cool. Back in the 90s when the Indiana Jones Adventure opened, they handed out these decoder cards so you can decipher the messages inside the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. And here for 90s Night, they recreated them and we're giving them out at the entrance.
Where'd you travel to get that shirt?
I had to travel to Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's a nice place.
Is it?
Almost as nice as Venice. It's my favorite.
Oh my god. I'm so happy.
All right, well, there it is. That is your look at the Disneyland After Dark 90s Night event that just happened. We had an absolute blast.
It was amazing.
Wow, we really felt like we were kids again.
Yeah, the whole vibe of everything was incredible. Like everyone was a true 90s kid. Everyone was a fan.
Singing
of everything
along.
that was happening. Everyone was singing, dancing. Everyone was having it was like the best character meet and greet interactions I've ever seen. Everyone was so hyped. It was so good.
It's like seeing you dancing with the Fantastic Monkeys to Bop. That summed up the entire event.
Never would I ever imagine. You danced with Max as Powerline.
Right, yeah, we all had our own little moments. It was just so much fun, and I'm so glad I came out here to do this. Like, I gotta do another one of these After Dark events.
Marvel's up next. Think about it.
I'll have to think about it flying out here. All right, we'll see y'all later.
I think each and every one of us goes above and beyond. We do everything for our clients that we could possibly do. From getting up at 3 a.m. to get the best deal for them when it comes out, to staying up late at night to send them their documents. We like taking the stress off of you. We'll stress about it. You go have fun.
MEI and Mousefan Travel is your expert source for no-fee travel planning. Visit MEI-travel.com for a no-obligation quote today.
Skip the lines with undercover tourists, crowd calendars, touring plans, and mobile apps. Stop paying full price for your family vacation and visit Undercover Tours today.
What would you do if you got to visit Star Wars Galaxy's Edge before anyone else? Reporter Gabrielle Russin from the Orlando Sentinel did just that, and she's here to share more about her experience in a galaxy far, far away. So you got this amazing experience.
I did. So for years, 4 or 5 years, Disney's been planning Galaxy's Edge and has kept secrets really, really tight to the chest. And I got to go out to California in February and hear all about it firsthand from the Imagineers and folks from Lucasfilm who've designed and built the land. So I got to learn more that I've been waiting to hear about for a long time.
Did you know, were you a Star Wars fan before you got this amazing invitation?
Oh, totally. I remember watching the A New Hope with my dad on like VHS tape in the 90s and just being hooked the moment I watched it.
So what was the first step in this journey? Where did they take you first?
We started out at Lucasfilm. I was one of a handful of media invited to be there for this 3-day trip in California. And we started at Lucasfilm, where Imagineers and folks from Lucasfilm talked about what they did, how they came up with the land, the research they did, and how they designed it, and their intent behind it.
What was some of the research that they did? I'm curious, because I want to know what they looked into.
Well, they wanted to create their own land, not like Hoth or Tatooine, planets that Star Wars fans are already familiar with from the movies. They wanted to create a whole new planet from scratch, so they created Batuu, and they wanted to find a land that was just felt old. So they went to places like Morocco and toured the marketplace and places that had a lot of history to try and take some of those little details back to California and to Orlando.
So from meeting with the Imagineers, going over what they wanted it to be, what was your next step in the journey of seeing this come to life?
We went to Walt Disney Imagineering and got a sneak peek at some of the technology they used to build the attractions and saw some of the animatronics. At Smuggler's Run, there will be an animatronic Hondo Ohnaka. I think fans might be fans of the Clone Wars animation might be more familiar with him, but he's the second most advanced animatronic that Disney's ever built, second only to Animal Kingdom Naboo, the giant at Pandora that you'll see. So Hondo is the second most advanced animatronic, and I remember walking up from him from behind. He's 7 feet tall. He's really big, and his movement is just very, very lifelike. Really neat to see.
Now, each one of the attractions, Disney is notorious for being a storyteller. So they're going to tell you a story. Did you get an insight as to what the stories were going to be for each one of the attractions?
Yeah, on Smuggler's Run, that's a Millennium Falcon ride. You go on a mission. You're on a Smuggler's Run, and you get to fly the ship. And what's really cool is it's kind of like a giant video game. If you're the pilot, you turn left, the Falcon's going to go left. If you're a gunner, you have to try and shoot TIE fighters. If you don't, the ship's going to get damaged, and then the engineer has to save your tail and fix it. So it's like you're in real time, which sounds really neat. It's a personalized ride. Like a video game.
Now, how many different scenarios are there? Will it always be different, or will it be
it sounds like there are a lot of different outcomes because what you do affects the outcome of the game. And I was, on this media tour, a lot of the reporters were skeptics at heart. We're like, what happens if you you wait hours in line to ride this ride, and what happens if you get a really terrible pilot? Or, will you still have a fun time? And Disney Imagineers were like, yes, no matter how bad you are at flying or whatever, it's still a good ride. And they also said that you can't actually crash the Falcon or completely destroy it. So you will eventually make it to your destination.
Now, moving into the other attraction in the land, the Rise of the Resistance, how much did you get of that?
Yeah, I learned more details than I'd learned before. Disney said this was the longest ride they've ever built. It's not 28 minutes, they said. I know there had been some rumors on social media. It's not that long, but they wouldn't say how long it is. But it's one of their most ambitious rides they've ever created. You're on a trackless vehicle, and it has the ability to do 4 different things or multiple things, so you feel like during the course of the ride you feel like you're on 4 different rides. So this high-tech vehicle, at one point you even get out of your ride and are marched into the detention center, so you feel like a prisoner. So it just sounds really immersive. Sounds pretty intense. You start out in the Resistance. It's like a cave base, and you take off and then you get sucked in the tractor beam by a Star Destroyer, and you're in a massive. I was in one of that. I didn't get to walk through the whole ride, kind of just sneak peek. The ride wasn't operational when I was there. I didn't get to ride it or anything, but I walked through a hangar bay of the Star Destroyer. And it's huge. There's a giant 100-foot window, star window on the screen. You look over to your right, there's a TIE fighter, just a huge space. And they'll have stormtroopers there. They'll have real Disney employees there, kind of barking orders and playing the role of the First Order. So it sounds like it's just a very immersive experience being in this hangar.
So the next step in your journey was to actually go to the lands themselves, right?
Right.
And what was that like?
Well, I had to wear steel-toed shoes, no cameras allowed. It was still a construction zone. A lot of the props hadn't been put up. They were still working on the interiors of a lot of the spaces. But I got the sense of the scope of the land. You know, you walk in and there are these giant spires, these giant rock formations, and they're like, some of them are over 100 feet high. They kind of take your eyes off. And then you look and go around a corner, and there's the Millennium Falcon, like full size. It's 110 feet from tip to tip, like just massive. So there are moments that, I know Disney has said they want to make this land cinematic, and I think they definitely succeeded. You kind of do feel like you're in the movie when you see the Falcon parked out there.
Do you feel like it's all revealed to you in an open space when you walk in, or is it kind of like you go from each space to the next and it just keeps growing onto itself?
Well, it's a big land, it's 14 acres, but you have to kind of weave through it. And you might see land speeders, or you keep walking and then you see a TIE fighter. It's not all, you kind of have to explore it a little bit.
So inside the land itself, we will have, obviously, merchandise opportunities and gift shops. Can you tell me a little bit about what they revealed to you about that?
Sure. Well, I think when you think of a Disney theme park, you think of a giant merchandise store. They love to sell you souvenirs. This is going to be different. It's going to be more intimate. They really wanted to make it authentic, and I think this is going back to some of the research they did, going to Morocco and other places. But they're going to have little spaces or carts or vendors. So it's not a giant store. And some of the spaces, they're very small spaces. They're not massive. There was one space where they had, baskets hanging from the walls and baskets hanging from the ceiling and carts, and it didn't feel like a typical Disney souvenir shop.
Moving out of merchandise, because I love to shop, but I also love to eat. So what kind of food opportunities are we looking at?
I got a partial menu tasting. There wasn't any hamburgers or pizza. It was more sophisticated. It seemed like healthier options. There was a hummus with a meatball that wasn't meat. That was actually really good. Or a shrimp salad, ribs, things like that. A little bit more classier.
Will we be expecting blue milk?
There will be blue milk and green milk. It's not actually milk from a cow. It's plant-based milk, like soy milk, but it's going to be kind of like a slushy, a cold drink.
So are there any hidden Easter eggs that you're like, oh, that's great, that people should be looking out for?
Yeah, I think there will be for hardcore Star Wars fans. I saw a design. I didn't actually get to see Bill yet, but I saw drawings of there's going to be a drinking fountain. It's going to look really shady and kind of sketchy. It's all part of the Disney magic. But when you drink water, there'll be pipes, and you'll see the eye of a Dianoga. And that's the critter from A New Hope that tried to get them in the trash compactor when they were trapped on the Death Star. So I think, people that remember that will get a kick out of that.
We'll appreciate that.
Yeah, and Disney went out of their way to do other little details. They did a tracing of the original R2-D2's foot. So you'll see, and then they made a device where they could make his tracks around the land.
Thank you so much for sharing that journey with us. I cannot wait to get there. So get out to Disneyland on May 31st and Disney World on August 29th to check out the opening. But how do I follow you?
Well, you can read OrlandoSentinel.com or follow me on Twitter at Gabrielle Russin.
Well, I can't wait to see you there when it's fully opened. I'm sure you'll have great pictures.
Have you downloaded our free Attractions Magazine app? It features news articles, as well as every issue of our magazine available right in the app. Plus, catch up on all episodes of the show, and even view all of our online videos in one place. Download the app for free in the App Store today.
And it's time for this week's shout-outs, everyone. This week's birthday shout-outs go out to Allison Lundell, Jake Williams, and our reporter Brittany Tettle.
They say it's your birthday. Happy birthday, everyone.
You want to get a unique gift for the theme park fan in your life? Pick up one of our mystery merch boxes.
Inside you'll find a variety of cool promotional and media exclusive items from the Disney parks, Universal parks, cruises, movies, and other unique places and experiences.
No two mystery merch boxes are the same. Pick yours up today at attractionsmagazine.com/shop. And now we want to thank MEI, Mouse Fan, and Universal Fan Travel, our preferred travel agent. For a free quote with no obligation, visit meitravel.com.
And thanks to Undercover Tourist, our recommended supplier of discounted tickets to Orlando and California attractions. For more information, visit undercovertourist.com.
Give Kids the World Village is a non-profit resort that provides week-long, cost-free vacations to children with life-threatening illnesses and their families. To learn more about how to get involved, visit gktw.org.
I would like to thank Gabrielle for coming out and sharing her wonderful journey with us. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel to get the full interview. It's amazing, her journey.
Mm-hmm. And, you asked me earlier what my favorite or thing I'm looking most forward to in Galaxy's Edge is. What's yours?
A day when there will be nobody there and I can just enjoy it all myself.
Well, you're going to be in a galaxy far, far away, but that's going to be a long, long time from now.
A long time from now. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you'll tune in again next week.
Until then, visit your local attractions, try something new, stay safe, but most of all,
have fun.
It wouldn't be a Disney.